Hello, hello, hello. Um, okay. So I guess I'm gonna just start talking. What is this? Start chat. All messages are visible. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. Well, yeah. Hi. Hi, Demitra. Hi. So, oh, wait. Let me turn this down. I'm over here watching. Um, yeah, to complete that game. And it's funny because, well, that's not funny, but it is, I guess, kind of funny. But what are the odds of this? Earlier today or yesterday, I seen Vivica A. Fox on a commercial, on a regular TV commercial. It's something about cars, like having a warranty or something on cars. Something. I seen a commercial years ago, but it was like, eh. So, so when I seen it today, it was either this morning or yesterday sometime. I just turned the channel, because I seen it before, a couple of times before. But anyway, so she was on like a car commercial. I just changed the channel because that wasn't the channel that I wanted to watch. But I seen her. So then, a couple of, I'm gonna say weeks ago, I was thinking of a scene from this movie that I actually did a video on YouTube when it was like I just see, well, not see, but I hear like my spirit guides when things happen that's like that I get emotional about or that I cry if I'm thinking about, my children, how people like purposely keeping my children separated, being evil to my children by like focusing on me, like trying to hurt me for whatever reason when I'm like, what did I do to you? So you're trying to hurt me. This is like my children's fathers and all the affiliates that they associated with and people that's associated with them. So, they all focusing on me, like, oh, we need to hurt her, we need to get a reaction out of her. What can we do? Well, we know that she loves the children and stuff like that. Let's just take them from her. We gotta lie because that's the only way we can get the children from her, because she's a great person, she's a good mom, and all of that. So we have to set her up, we have to lie on her, because if we tell the truth about her, it's like, how can we get the children from her. So we have to lie. But, anyways, I was thinking of, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, how like my spirit guys, how they be like in my ear sometimes, and they be like, what do you want us to do? What say the word like, how can I explain it? Like like say somebody did something to you, okay? So you got your friends around, whatever, and somebody said something to you or they did something to you. So all your friends is like, what are you gonna do? What you want us to do? You want me to go over there and do something to him? You want me to go over there and do something to her? Like, what's up? Get say the word. Like, we down. What you just gotta say a word. You just gotta say go. You don't even gotta say nothing. You just gotta wink and whatever. Like, come on, we ready. Like, we ready. So so that's how I be hearing and feeling, sometimes when like, especially when I get emotional, like I said, think about these bum ass niggas who like purposely is keeping my children separated, for their own personal gain. So when I be thinking about my children, I'm like, damn, especially my youngest son, Melvin, and he's autistic. And the last time I actually seen him was in 2018. So I'm like, and now you done been to court after 2018, and I done spoke my piece in court. Yeah, no lawyer, but his bitch ass dad had a lawyer, which is not even a good lawyer. But I guess since I didn't have a lawyer, they was just like, let's just get anyone, and you've got to be good because as long as we have a lawyer, a judge not going to grant somebody who don't have a lawyer, I guess, custody was against somebody who actually has a professional lawyer. That'll make the lawyer company look bad and whatever, whatever. So I kind of get that, but I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm telling the truth. Like, this dude is lying, like, presented facts and paperwork and just like, come on now, like, what's the problem? Y'all talking about y'all focus on the best interests of the children, of the kids, but y'all really not. Really not. Like, come on now. So, anyways, you know, my main focus is my children. So I'm just like, can my children be together? Can they spend time together and whatever? I ain't really want to talk about too much in this video about that. But yeah. So anyways, I was getting about Vivica A. Fox when yeah. So when I be thinking about my children, like I said, especially my youngest son, but like all of them, of course, but especially my youngest son. And my 17-year-old son, AJ, Andrew. So, and I get like emotional and just be thinking about things like, oh, like what I can say and what I can do to they dads. But I'm like, young, man, everything is by freaking design because it's like, of course, when you in it you don't really see it. Like in the beginning when I was going through so much custody stuff, custody issues, and with the lies and the slander and the hurt and the confusion and the like embarrassment, I'm like, what the heck, like my children is taken from me. Like you got me looking like I'm a badass person, and I was just like, I'm not. Yeah, so I'm over here had to take anger management class because my youngest son dad talking about my car door bumped his arm. So it was like a second degree assault. So I had to go to court for second degree assault because my son's dad was like, "Oh yeah, her car door bumped my arm." Like you a bitch ass nigga. That's the kind of stuff I'm dealing with. Okay, that kind of shaky gay ass, I mean, you gay, that's fine, I have no problem with that. But I'm like, don't try to hide it and take your frustrations out on me or whatever. I don't Hey, y'all tell me what it is. And honestly, I'm like, if I did something to these guys, to my son's dad, especially two of them, Lamont and Melvin, or Jonathan is his first name, but I call him Lamont, that's his middle name. And then Melvin, that's his real name. So these is two of my son's dads. And I'm like, y'all, I know y'all gonna come across this video because this would be all over the media. Like, do y'all know who I am? Okay, okay. But when y'all come across this video, I'm like, what did I do to y'all? Like, honestly, what did I do? Like, cause I'll be going back, and I'm not even, I've got off the topic of Vivica A. Fox, but let me see, can I say what I was about to say about her real quick? Yeah, so spirit guys be like, yeah, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? We got your back, yada, yada, yada. So that scene came on, where she was up in the, like at the restaurant slash club with her friends, her girlfriends, and then she seen her boyfriend Keith with another girl dancing, whatever. So that's when that scene came up when they was all like, with her, like, what do you want to do? What you want to do, girl? What you want us to do? You want me to go over there and jack him up? Stuff like that. So that's when I be hearing my spirit God, you know, be saying like, what do you want us to do? Like the universe, what do you want us to do? Just wink. Like you don't even gotta say nothing. You could just think it. Like we waiting. So I be like, I can't think negative thoughts against my son's dads. That's why I don't even think about them. I don't think about them. I don't care too much for them or anything. So my thing is, these niggas played their part because they know that they playing a safe role. They know that they safe because they got sole custody of my sons. Okay? My minor sons, they got sole custody. So I'm like, they know they safe at the moment. Now, mind you, my AJ, he just turned 17. He just turned 17 March 9th, 3907. Just turned 17. So I'm like, nigga, far as my son's dad, like, that age is approaching. So You ain't going to be safe for too long, buddy. And even before he turned 18, like anything can happen in a blink of an eye. So you ain't going to be safe too long. So that's why I'm like, these niggas know that they safe because they got sole custody of my children. That's what's keeping them breathing, I'ma say. That's what's keeping breath in their bodies because if something were to happen to my son's dad, who got sole custody of my minor sons, I will be fighting the system. I will be fighting some more bitch assness, some more gay assness, some more dysfunctional ass people. The fucking system is corrupt. But guess who's here and along with a lot of other people to balance it out? I mean, it's not just me that's going to be taking part in balancing out this judicial system, but a lot of other people who I understand what y'all going through, people who understand what I'm going through, people who's been who's been what's the word? I guess treated unfairly by the judicial system, and it's just especially the children, the children, we got to be their voices because they like children can't even say anything in court. Like you got to be a certain age before they take your word and want you to say something, like if you're a child, even if you have like a good mature head on your shoulders or whatever. If you say, hey, I want to stay with my dad or I want to stay with my mom, and you 13, 14 years old, they'll be like, oh no, you it's whatever the judge say. It's like that's man, like that's the whole thing too. Like me, when I be going to court with my children, that's why I was like, I don't need no damn lawyer to speak on my behalf about my son. Like I know my son. I carried him. Like I know him before anybody else knowing him. He known me before he knew anybody else. Like that's my children. That's my son. So I don't need nobody to defend me against my son when I didn't do anything wrong. So that's how I'm looking at it. And plus, I ain't had no money for no lawyer and all that kind of stuff anyway. But I'm like, whatever. So, of course, my mom wasn't thinking, well, hey, if I don't have a lawyer, the judge would, regardless if I'm speaking truth or facts, I'm proving my point. I wasn't thinking the fact that the judge would still not grant me my son. And you see, that's even like an oxymoron. How can a stranger grant you custody of your own child? I was up in court, like the last couple of court cases, dealing with the custody of my youngest son. And I was like, this damn paper don't got no power over me. And I'm talking about like that custody paperwork, like at the end when like the judge give you like a rough draft or something, or how can I say this? Like we had a previous one, and a couple of months later we went back to court. So I'm holding up the paper. The video will come out because every all the videos, all the appearances that I was in court will be out on in public, okay, on the media. Okay, it's coming soon. Like a lot of videos that I don't even freaking know about. Like I don't, I don't even like. I already see it. Like especially doing years ago in my partying phase when we had digital cameras. When I was going to the club, and people was taking pictures with digital cameras because we didn't really have like phone. I mean, I guess we could take it with our phone, but most of the time it was digital cameras, and I had a digital camera and I got too drunk one night off of some Patron. I can't even. Ill. That Patron. Ill. That's just nasty. It was just thinking about it. That night I was tore up. Okay. Ooh. And I mean, I passed out and everything, and my digital camera was lost or taken. Somebody done took my digital camera, and my friend who I was with, she was like, I don't know where your camera went, this and that. But I'm like, you posted, like if you see I'm past, man, is whatever. So I have pictures on that digital camera. This is way back when. I'm gonna say 2009, 2010. So everything that was in that camera is going to be coming out, within a couple of months to a year or whatever. So, yeah. But anyways, what was getting back to what was I talking about? Well, yeah, I was talking about Vivica A. Fox when I started it off, when I started this video off. But this wasn't going to be the topic of the video. She wasn't going to be the topic. But what I was about to say about well, I don't know, but all I know is the movie. Let's see what time it is. 2:48. Okay, 2:48. I'm gonna get off at 3 o'clock. So that's 12 minutes or so. So yeah. So what was I saying? So yeah. So anyways, when this movie came on, I was watching Short Circuit. Yeah, I was watching Short Circuit, In and Out. You know, like paying attention, not paying attention to it. That movie. I used to watch that movie when I was younger. It was an okay movie when I was younger. It wasn't nothing that I was like, ooh. I think Short Circuit 2 was like better than the first one for me. But then, what was, okay. So, what what was I about to say? So, custody, oh yeah, so, was I finished about Vivica A. Fox? I guess it was just a coincidence because I seen her in a car commercial. Coincidence, right? Seen her in a car commercial yesterday, today, whatever. And then this movie came on after Short Circuit. Two can play that game, and then like I said, my guys or the universe be like, "Hey, just say something. We on them." But I'm just like, I can't think negative thoughts. Like if I think negative thoughts, like that shit will happen. How they say the power of life and death is in your tongue. Mine is in my thoughts too. Like plenty of other people out there too. Like if you think something, it will happen. If you really manifest it in your mind, like it will really happen. So that's how it is for me. So that's why I tend to like. I don't care to know what's going on with these Bamas. With their lives. I don't care. I don't want to know. I only want to hear their names because if I do, and the only time I'm gonna start really mention them is while I'm on here. Like while I'm actually like talking to myself like on camera on video. That's the only time. Like I don't talk about these niggas. I don't like what for. What for nothing to say. Like y'all some bitch ass niggas. Like y'all keeping my children separated. Y'all took them away from each other. Not just me, but from each other. And I'm like, for what? That's the thing. I'm like, if y'all, oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Y'all gonna come across this video, and I'm talking about my children's father, Lamont and Melvin. These the two Pacific ones, people that I'm talking about, talking to, or talking about, whatever. Like y'all gonna come across this video, and I'm like, what did I do to have you guys rely on me, to have you want to take my children, our children from each other, from me? Y'all are hurting our children more than you trying to focus on hurting me. So that shows that you don't even love your son how you say you do or you think you do, because you don't. Because if you would look at him in his eyes and be like, damn, you need your mom. I just relied on your mom to get you from her, and I'm keeping you away from her, and I'm seeing like it's hurting you too. You know what I mean? Like y'all gonna wake up and see that. Y'all, and even if my son, since he is autistic, which that's a whole nother different thing too, because I got two children that is autistic. A son and a daughter. One was born in 2014, the other one born in 2021. My daughter, the youngest, born in 2021. And I be telling myself like, here go Eleanor, here she is now. Can I help you, Eleanor? Okay. What you need? You need the bubbles open. Yep. All right, see you later. Oh, okay. You want? Please, look, I don't know if there's a whole lot of bubbles in here because you keep spilling it. Okay, so. Okay. Um, what time is it? Okay, 2:54. Got 6 minutes. Okay, um, yeah, so I got two autistic children, and in the spectrum, it is a broad spectrum because my daughter, she will be 3 on the 21st. 4/21/21 is her birthday, and she will be 3 years old. And my son, who's also autistic, Melvin, MB3, he's a third. He was born 12/19/14, and when he was 3 years old, 2.5, 3 years old, mind you, the last time I seen him was June, Mayish, June-ish, 2018. So I haven't seen my son since 2018. He hasn't physically seen his sister. Mind you, we all still connected, like spiritually and like, like they came from me. They came from my womb. So we want to be connected regardless, regardless. No matter how far the distance wise my children are from me, we always would be connected, to each other or whatever. So I do feel him. I know he feels me, so all my children, you know. So anyways, I be telling myself, I be like, I birthed twins in 2 different years. And I be seeing a lot of people talk about twins, like a boy and a girl. Like, oh, somebody's gonna have twins, a boy and a girl, a boy and a girl. And I'm like, shoot, I done had twins in 2 different years. Like, and then my son, okay, as far as the spectrum go, like my daughter is doing a lot more things than what my son was doing or can comprehend when my son was 3 years old, 2.5, 3 years old. Like my son, he really was not saying no kind of words. He would say hug, and we would always hug. He would say a couple of words, but this is like when he 2.5, 3 years old. He would say a couple of words, but not so many. And he would not respond to his name. Like you would keep calling him, and he would not respond. Like I would have to call his name in a certain kind of a way for him to be like, oh, and come look for me, and come to me. But if he's running, like this boy will run in like the freaking street. Like you call him, like you gotta have your running shoes on. I didn't have dresses on, skirts on, with tennis shoes when I with him. I'm like, I can't wear no heels, no sandals, no open toe. I gotta wear some damn tennis shoes because even with the dress or skirt, whatever, if he's with me, he's my priority, to make sure he's safe. So I gotta know that I'm gonna be active and running around with him. And that's how it is. And it was fine, I kept off some weight and everything because I was like so active. He kept me going. But when he wasn't responding to his name, he would be making sounds. Um, but I be thinking like when I say these autistic children, well, I'm speak for mine. I'm gonna speak for my own children. I don't know everybody's autistic children out there, but I know mine be giving me subliminal messages and clues. Even Melvin, when he was with me, he, man, he would come up, and this is like right before his dad lied to get a petition against me, protective order against me, said that I harmed my son by driving recklessly, speeding down the parking lot, which was not true, But anyways, he went to the courthouse, and I guess his girl wrote it, and I even said that in court. I'm like, this right here shouldn't even be real or even looked at because he didn't even write it. Somebody else wrote it. Because I'm like, this is not his handwriting. So I'm like, you see all the plotting and planning and the scheming and the drama. that people trying to bring me into. I'm like, what the heck? Why y'all like? I was even telling him when we went to child support court. Yes, this nigga put me on child support. We went to child support court, and it was what two? How old was my daughter? 3. Yeah, she about to be 3. So this was like 2 weeks before I had her. It was like 2 weeks before I gave birth to my daughter. Went to child support court. So I'm like 9 months pregnant, however it is. So I'm like, I haven't spoken to this nigga. I don't know how many years. He haven't spoken to me. Like we haven't spoken to each other. So it wasn't like, oh, I wasn't calling him to check up on my son. It was like my main thing is I know my son is alive, and I know that nobody better not be abusing him. But I know my son is alive and he goes to school. So if anybody was doing something with, I don't even want to think about that, but it would be noted, it would be seen, and the universe will come to me and be like, so none of that. I ain't even want to think about it. I ain't even going to put it in my mind or even think of the words, but none of that was going on. I'm just knew that my son was alive and well. Like, good. He's outside of the house. He's in public. People can see him. People can check up on him. Can see him. Everything is being watched. So, anyways, I was like, I know my son good, but his dad wasn't contacting me, or I wasn't contacting his dad. So I'm like in child support court, and I'm like, if this nigga was struggling financially with our son, he could have contacted me. He could have been like, D, I'm struggling. You need to help out, this and that, whatever. Even though this motherfucking lied on me to get custody of our son. But if nigga, if you were struggling, and I said this in court, like, you could have hit me up, like, hey D, can you send such and such, whatever you can do, send some money, send some pull ups, send this, send that, whatever. I would have worked out something like, okay, cool. But this nigga ain't reached out or anything. And then when my son was with me, before his bitch ass dad lied to get custody. When my son was with me, he was receiving supplemental income every month. It was over $700 a month for his disability. My son, over $700 a month. So I'm like this is like sufficient enough to take care of him and plus more, like get what he needs and stuff like that, plus do more things or whatever, save and whatever like that. So when got the child support letters talking about, yeah, going to court, this and that. So I'm like, what the heck? Child support? What? That 700 plus, what? And I'm not even working. I was not working at the time. I have not worked since my son was taken from me. I have not clocked in at somebody's job. What was it, 2018? Like January of 2018. My son was like that petition order happened in October of 2017 when his dad lied and all that bullshit went to the court to go get a protective order, so I couldn't see my son for 2 weeks. Like I couldn't contact him, couldn't contact him or my son for 2 freaking weeks. That was the first, and I didn't even want to think about that. Because that moment when I couldn't, and then I'm like, my son, he was freaking 2.5 years old. He's autistic. He wasn't functioning at a 2.5 year old level. He was like still a baby. And I'm like, I didn't hurt him. And I'm like, nigga, you hurting your son. How you fucking call yourself a man? You probably don't call yourself a man, but how you gonna call yourself a man when you lying on your son's mother? A black woman who ain't did nothing to your ass, who fucking be motivating you. Like, what? Even when me and this nigga was together, I'm like, we were cool. Even after I gave birth, like, this nigga, my pregnancy, like, he ain't even want me to go through with the pregnancy. He ain't want me to go through with the pregnancy, so the whole pregnancy, this nigga was basically saying, fuck you and fuck that baby throughout the whole pregnancy. Now, I would tell you this. He probably would text once or twice a month. Hey, what did you eat today? How was your day? Did the baby move? Did you feel the baby move? Like basic, stuff like maybe twice a month. And this was like 4 months in, like 4 months in or whatever, he would do that. Now his mom, yeah, she would text me like every day or call me every day. If it wasn't for that lady, but it's like, ugh, she was the freaking ringleader. But that's why I was pregnant. I didn't see all of this while I was pregnant. Was didn't even know I was gonna go through all of this while I was pregnant. But his mom was the one calling me like every day and texting me and this and that or whatever, not his ass. So whatever. But that lady, that's a whole nother. I don't even got time to talk about that thing. But dang, it's 3:04. All right, let me get off this thing. It's 3:04. Um, but yeah, but real quick, I'm just like these niggas. They know that they like playing it safe or that they safe at the moment because they got sole custody of my children. And my thing is that's just the paperwork. That's just earthly paperwork because that paper don't have nothing, don't have no power over me. But if I gotta come down to a earthly level, okay, let me think earthly and humanly about this situation. Okay, fine. They got the paperwork, they got sole custody. That's making them, keeping them breathing. Because if they wasn't breathing, my son's dads, if they wasn't breathing, why they have sole custody? If something were to happen to them, if something were to happen to them, I would be fighting a whole bigger system. I would be fighting they bitch assness. I would be fighting the like whoever else, all these different kind of agencies and stuff like that. Like it's like, oh, we gotta put them in this system because it's like, give me my motherfucking kids, give me my motherfucking children. Okay, give me my children. And technically, like, so, anyways, like I said, it's a daggone shame, like for me or for any other mother, to be asking a stranger. I said this in court too. To be asking a stranger, please, can I have my child? Can I have my children? Can I have my child that came out of my womb? Stranger, stranger, judge, can I have my child that I carried? What? That's what I say. This system is so fucked up. And the thing is, I had to experience it. Of course, while I was in it, I didn't see all of this that I'm seeing now, that I know now, the enlightenment. I believe that's what it's called. But I see it now, like I had to experience that because a lot of people is going through it. I would not know how many mothers and, a few dads is going through this, going through what I went through with they significant other, or not even significant other, but when their children's, when, mother, father, whatever, is lying on them to get custody of their child. Like, oh, moms can lie on the dad and say, oh yeah, the dad did something to the child, and the dad really didn't do nothing to the child, and then dad can't see the child anymore, or gotta be this. And I'm like, nigga, you hurting that child. You hurting your own child over your bullshit ass, immature selfishness. You know? And vice versa. The dad can say, "Oh yeah, the mom did this. The mom, she whatever, whatever." And the whole time, the dad wasn't even fucking with the child. Like the dad don't even want the child, but the dad is probably dating a girl who's like, let me oppress him. Let me show him that I can have his back, and and the child can be with us because we gonna stay together. So it'd be like, maybe a two-parent household, especially if the mother is like single, and then the dad is dating somebody, then the girl trying to boost her head up and boost his head up, like, oh yeah, since we're together, it'll be better, two-parent household, this and that, yada yada yada, anything. So I didn't realize, well, I didn't know, you know how many people was actually in that situation with the lying, with the slander, people taking your kids from you, the CPS, all of that. I didn't know anything about that until I experienced it. And then I started doing research and then reading people's stories. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this has been going on? This is what's been happening? So I'm like, I gotta be relatable. So I'm like I said, being in it at the time, man, like I said, I couldn't even work. I was at my desk crying. Them 2 weeks, I literally crying. And then when that court date came, to go to court for that 2 weeks, that fucking judge was like granted for a whole year. I'm like, and this was a fucking black man. And that video gonna come out. Can't remember his name, but it's on the paperwork. It's on the documents that I have. I have all that stuff. And look, this eye is shaking. This eye, you probably can't tell, but like my eyelid is jiggling. But yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? And granted for a whole year. I say after and filed out some other paperwork, went to this place, went to this room, and was like, did the file an appeal and whatever, whatever. I'm like, and then this motherfucker, his dad walking out the court with his girl, like smiling. I didn't see it, but that's what my sister was saying, because I was just like, what? I was trying to process it. Like, you telling me that I could not see my son. I couldn't, no kind of contact for a whole. Then you walking out the courtroom smiling like you fucking won, like it's a fucking victory. Dude, you fucking hurt our child. And then you still going along with this bullshit assness. Like, come on, dude. Like, what is the. Alright, let me get off of here. Because every time when I talk about this bitch ass nigga, cause I'm just like, I haven't seen my son. And I'm like feeling him more now. That must mean it's getting closer. Cause I know he's gonna be like, damn, mom, that was a long see you later. Like last thing you said was I love you, see you later. Gave him a hug and a kiss. He probably like, that was a long see you later. Like, but I know when all my children, when we all reunite. I know when we all reunite, like it's gonna feel like only a weekend went past. Like I already know it. I already know it. It just gonna feel like a weekend that went past. So when I do see my son Melvin, because when I do see him, it's gonna be like a weekend that went past, and it's gonna be like, yes, of course he got taller and probably look different and everything like that, but he's that energy, that love will be like it's never left. So that's the part that I'm just like, oh my goodness, look, I gotta think about that. But I'm like, his bitch ass dad and his whole crew, y'all know who y'all are. Y'all know who y'all are. And I know y'all are feeling ashamed of yourselves for your actions coming against me, hurting all of my children. I know y'all feel ashamed and y'all should be. Y'all gonna be feeling worse than that if y'all not already. Cause that's effed up what all of y'all done. What all of y'all have done. So you know all that is coming right back around on y'all. If it's not already. And I know it is. I know it's on y'all now. Cause I feel it. I may not can see it because I don't fuck with y'all. I don't even know what y'all doing. But I feel it. I know y'all going through something and going to be going through so much more, so much worse. Like when I say y'all gonna be feeling the pain that I felt, like everything that I felt, 100, triple, thousand times more. And it's going to be consistent and constantly. Things going to be happening in y'all lives. The same shit that I went through. Losing my house, my car, my job, children being separated. Believe me, all that shit is coming. It's on y'all now. It's on y'all now. Y'all going to be feeling it more. Like, so, and that's what y'all get. I gotta go. All right. Come in. I'm coming, Solomon.